with the representatives of Kaduna people of Southern Kaduna, Kaduna State in the House of Representatives of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, regardless of our party affiliations, we condemn the persistent inhuman killings and kidnappings of the people of Southern Kaduna region, and are therefore compelled to address the gentlemen of the press as follows: that we are the representatives of all natives, residents, and persons domiciled in Southern Kaduna, regardless of their color, creed, race, religion, political ideology, or ethnic nationality. We admonish all our constituents to be law-abiding, even in these challenging times. As elected representatives, we are the voice of all these categories of people, regardless of their ethnic group in the National Assembly. It is on their behalf that we condemn the raiding, killings, kidnappings of our people. These actions are unconstitutional, criminal, inhuman, and highly condemnable. Therefore, it is necessary for all hands to be on deck to checkmate this ugly scourge within the ambits of the rule of law. We also use this opportunity to commiserate and express our condolences to all who have lost their loved ones and properties as a result of the attacks. It is our prayer that the Almighty God, who created heavens and earth, will comfort the bereaved and help us as a nation to bring the perpetrators of this evil to justice and to end these unnecessary killings. The right to life of every citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is a constitutionally guaranteed right as encapsulated in Section 33, subsection 1 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. And it provides every person has a right to life, and no one shall be deprived intentionally of his life, save in execution of the sentence of a court in respect of a criminal offense of which he has been found guilty in Nigeria. The implication is that under the laws of our nation, and indeed of all civilized nations, extrajudicial killings on any ground whatsoever is not just abominable, it is evil, unconstitutional, inhuman, and a heinous crime. The killings of the people of Southern Kaduna or anybody at all in Nigeria is highly condemnable and must be brought to an end. This is because life is the essence of human existence, and the protection of this right is a global concern. Hence, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights of UDHR 1948, which has now attained the status of a customary international law, and its contents has found its way into the Constitution of all civilized nations, including Nigeria. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 99 as amended, is premised on the principles of freedom, equality, and justice. And Section 4, subsection 2b, provides that the security and welfare of the people shall be the primary purpose of government. And Section 17, subsection 2b, provides that in furtherance of the social order, the sanctity and dignity of the human person shall be protected and preserved by government. In section 17, subsection 3C, guarantees the health, safety, and welfare of all persons. Thus, the primary objective of any government in Nigeria is to preserve the life and property of its citizenry, no matter their ethnic, religious, or ideological differences. The inability of any government to secure the lives and property of its citizens or ensure their welfare implies failure of government. It is no longer news that the people of southern Kaduna have become praised in their fatherland. They have consistently been invaded, slaughtered in cold blood, raped, killed, and their properties destroyed and pillaged in public glare. With little success in investigating and apprehending the perpetrators of the said attacks. As honorary members representing the people in southern Kaduna, we have identified that 1, herdsmen and farmer clashes. 2, forceful land grabbing by non-natives of southern Kaduna. 3, reprisal attacks. 4, banditry. And 5, criminality. These are some of the major causes of the killings and hostility in southern Kaduna. These problems can only be solved if the rule of law is allowed to take its full course. Rule of law entails adherence to the principles of supremacy of the law over all citizens and subjects in Nigeria, equality of all citizens and subjects before the law. While we note that these attacks are deeply rooted and multifaceted in nature, the failure to investigate, arrest, and prosecute the perpetrators has continued to embolden the attackers. In these difficult times, statements by people in authority should serve to heal and unite the people, rather than inflaming passion and justifying the heinous acts. As representatives of the people of southern Kaduna, we hereby pray, state unequivocally that the life of every citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, regardless of ethnic, religious, or ideological differences, must be protected as required under Section 14, subsection 2B of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended. We condemn the armed attacks and killings of the people of southern Kaduna by the armed militia groups or any group whatsoever, no matter their motive, and we condemn the justification of any attacks on our people or any reprisal attack. The federal government, as well as the state government, have both made efforts in the past to stem the ugly tide. Such efforts must be increased. It must be people-centered. It must be more transparent and effective. The people of southern Kaduna should be vigilant and law-abiding and avoid taking laws into their hands. Regardless of any provocation, they should cooperate with law enforcement officers and report these miscreants when necessary. We call for the arrest, investigation, prosecution, and conviction where necessary of these attackers. so that they can desist from unleashing mayhem on the people of Southern Kaduna and indeed Nigerians. We sincerely want to thank you again for giving us this time. Long live the good people of Southern Kaduna. Long live the people of Kaduna State. Long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much. As far as we are concerned, as members representing the various federal constituency in that area, we want to tell you that what we have presented to you in our statements are clearly most of the reasons that bring about killing. It is not a lie if everywhere in Nigeria that we have heard that there is a problem between herdsmen and farmers clash. It is everywhere, not only in Southern Kaduna. And you know, the second thing that we did talk about is the reappraisal attacks. Reprisal attacks which has continued, you know, not allowing peace to reign in our environment. And that has to stop. We have to forgive each other, and we have to turn a new page by letting ourselves on both sides. Whoever is doing the killing, the armed militia, we want to tell you we cannot identify them evidently. So what we are calling on is that whatever has happened, we need to forgive each other and let bygone be bygone, and let us start a new page in our lives here in that area in Southern Kaduna. The other one we talked about was the issue of banditry, which of course you gentlemen of the press know is not peculiar to just Southern Kaduna, it's everywhere in the country. And Southern Kaduna is not exempted. The other part of it we talked about is the criminality that is also taking place within the environment in Southern Kaduna. Now, I hope we have answered that question.
I see a complacence of the security.
No, sorry, he has a second question. Now, when it comes to the issue of the security personnel there, our people sometimes, at some time, do feel that the security have not done enough. These are reasons, for example, when there is a curfew in an area, you still find attacks within the boundaries of our communities, especially those ones that are bounding the forest. And when there is a curfew, what happens is that we have security inside the main towns. Meanwhile, these attacks do not usually come into the main town, but they are at the periphery and boundaries of our communities. And such, that is one of the reasons sometimes our people feel that the security are not doing enough. What we need the security to do is to identify the flashpoints, the routes by which these attackers come into our communities, and go into the forest, because we believe strongly that we have armed militia living in our forest, living in the hills. The security apparatus need to go there and comb the forest and get rid of them out of that area. So far, I think the military and the police, as we speak to you now, are making effort to make sure that these attacks are stopped. But the information reaching us, even before these attacks that started recently in Southern Kaduna, the one that took place in Kauru, in his constituency, the one that went into Zangon Katab, in his constituency, the one that took place in my constituency in Kaura, and then the one that took place in Jamaa, Sanga, that just happened about 5 days ago. We have had the information. These people, when they are coming, they even give us information, we are coming. We have told and informed the security agents. I have told my DPO to extend that information to his superiors, and he has taken that information seriously, as he has told me. But again, these attacks are still going on. So it is important to know that we also have information that they are going to attack massively and coordinately in Southern Kaduna after the Salah break. we are calling on our people to be vigilant. And we are asking them to do all that they can to keep themselves alive. Without life, nothing can happen.
The situation in southern Kaduna is, has taken a pattern that is predictable. And we are saying, as a government, we must have the capacity. If A and B have a quarrel, they should settle that quarrel either through the rule of law, going to court, going to the police, and let the police prosecute. But the situation where you avoid that, civilized channel of settling group, and you go, and there is a militia. Nobody can deny that. We have militias. And what we are saying, why is it taking the government long to fish out those militia? Because A and B has a problem, and he goes out and commission a militia to settle the score. And that has been the pattern in southern Kaduna. Every attack is done by a militia that is quite different from the parties that have the quarrel. That have the quarrel or have the misunderstanding. Whether the misunderstanding is land-based or anything personal or whatever. Why? And are the security people telling us they are not aware? To some extent, we even know where the militias. We cannot continue to close our eye to these facts because it is at the root of the crisis. Because there's no place where you have human settlement or where two people exist that they will not have differences. But that is why we are civilized people. There is a channel through which you can settle, any differences. Anything other than, the pursuit, and the adherence to the rule of law, I think the state.
The first question being about warring communities. Now, if you realize amongst the items that we listed as reasons for clashes in southern Kaduna, criminality was included. So if there are warring factions and they go into fight, it is a criminal activity. And yes, I can confirm to you, there are warring communities in southern Kaduna. Now, this press conference is not limited to what is happening just now. This press conference is something we're talking about regarding things that have happened in southern Kaduna over a period of time, not just now. That is why we listed all these items. So if you find a particular item in here that is not currently happening exactly now, doesn't mean it hasn't happened in the past as a reason for clashes. But yes, right now, there are warring communities in southern Kaduna. I come from Kauru Federal Constituency. I represent Kauru Federal Constituency, and I can authoritatively tell you that yes, in my constituency.
If killings continue, you wouldn't need to preach to the people to defend themselves. You don't need to tell them. They will rise up. Nobody told you to buy a generator. You bought it. And nobody will tell you to make a road to your house. You will do that, even if that is the responsibility of government. So that's why we are calling on government to rise up immediately and do the needful before there will be break of law and order.
We have very many different tribes living in our constituency. And those with different religions are still living in peace as we speak today. In my constituency, I'll use it as an example, which could also be a reference point for the other constituencies in southern Kaduna. We have Hausa communities, we have Muslims, we have Christian natives, we have Igbos, and we also do have some Fulani people who are resident in most of our villages. They are not fighting. What we are saying is that whoever is killed, we are not happy when you killed a Fulani person in our constituency. We are not happy when you kill a Hausa man in our community. And we are not happy even if you kill an Igbo man who resides in southern Kaduna. We are their representatives as long as they regard themselves as southern Kaduna people. So all what we are saying is that if you notice, I ask that our members should introduce themselves. Some of us are of the PDP and some are of the APC. One member is not here, he is also an APC. member from Kachia Kagarko. He was on Channel News, I think, there for yesterday. And he's supposed to be here. We don't know what is wrong. But you can understand that we have all come together. We put away politics, our party differences, and just to give you that expression that we are working together and we are concerned, and that the life of every Nigerian is very important to us. And because life is the essence of human existence.